have the WiT Studio, the Web and Travel Studio, with Brian Staunton, Chief Commercial Officer at Atlas. Let's start with a brief introduction about yourself and what your role entails at Atlas.
Thank you very much. Great to be here. Well, yeah, at Atlas, we're looking to aggregate all of the low-cost carrier content globally.
Right.
And we've been doing it now for a couple of years, but accelerating recently. So my role is managing a team of people who engage with airlines around the world, and also a team of people who deal with and engage with OTAs and intermediaries, travel sellers around the world, trying to bring both together to enable more transaction, more low-cost carrier flights, bookings globally. So that's basically what I do.
Right. So, what are some new and interesting trends that you've observed from travel sellers and providers, and how is Atlas supplying to those demands?
Yeah, very good question, and especially now when we look back on COVID, it's amazing looking at some of the stats. I think OAG came out recently saying that I think 60% of seat capacity on LCCs has increased by that much since 2019, but more traditional carriers is actually only just 40%. So, also if you look at the number of LCCs globally, it's increased by about I think 5%. And traditional carriers have actually decreased by 13. So the numbers speak for themselves. As a sector on the supply side, we're seeing a lot more recovery and growth in that area. And then if we look at on the demand side, obviously most LCCs have a big direct channel focus, but in addition, there's fantastic augmented demand that can be delivered to them by very, very good B2B relationships globally. So our teams are out speaking to OTAs, listening to them as to what kind of additional content they need. And again, if we look back through COVID, the really, smart airlines and agency community that have looked ahead have invested deeply in trying to respond to travelers' requirements now. By investing in additional technology, infrastructure, trying to enable more add-ons, more personalization. And a lot of that has been extremely challenging years ago when technology was so expensive. But nowadays, through more affordable cloud computing, AI, machine learning, it's unlocking all of that capacity and ability to match up those requirements and serve travelers better.
So, on that note, you mentioned the technology, right? I was going to ask you about the role of technology. Why is connecting travelers with low cost options easier today than it was before? Like, what kind of technology made that possible?
Yeah, no, a very, very, very good question again. I think the LCC or the low cost carrier supply globally is very, very decentralized. So all of the carriers have started up individually in different regions, big local footprint in their own home markets or region where the brand is known in direct channels. But because each one has approached it differently, there's been not as much standardization as we've seen in full service carrier space. And therefore it's been very difficult to try to aggregate all that content in one place in a relatively standardized way, because technology traditionally was cumbersome, expensive, and a bit clunky. But through the advances in recent years in the power of computing, cloud computing, AI, machine learning, all of that now is more affordable than before. So we feel it's a very good time to make the investment now to try to bring all that content together. And as we know, consumers all over the world through COVID have enjoyed better and better seamless retailing experiences in other sectors. But it's always been challenging in travel. But now it's possible to do a much better job than ever before. And that's what we're all about.
So, we can't talk about Atlas without talking about ATRIP. What are the benefits of designing a custom platform to power travel platforms, other travel platforms? And how is Atlas different in that sense?
Yeah, I mean, ATRIP is the acronym we've given for the Atlas Travel Retail Intelligence Platform. So the power of data really is the big difference. So with all of the different component parts of ancillaries, add-ons, the routes of the various LCCs and different pricing, promotional opportunities, having the right data to see and analyze and deliver it to B2B partners for them to make decisions, and airlines too, to attract the best volumes at the best rates. has been very difficult up to now. But now with the power of, as I say, AI computing, and cloud computing, it's much more affordable and much more possible. So in ATRIP, we've built a really fantastic capability set from a content point of view, a technology point of view, and a data point of view. And really, we're trying to deliver a very, very simple API to all of our B2B partners, where with one connection they get access to hundreds of low-cost carriers as we grow. And I think the data management aspects of that and the ability to proactively partner with B2B partners and suggest promotional opportunities to them, pricing opportunities to them, is the real difference. So we don't believe anyone else is doing that today to the same extent as we are. And so we really see ourselves as being apart from what else is out there right now because of that.
Okay. What are some of the challenges of building a network around low-cost travel now that low cost isn't exactly low cost in a lot of places? Like, prices have surged, planes, like flights are way more expensive. So what are the challenges in doing something like that?
Yeah, no, it's a good question. Well, I think the figures speak for themselves when you look at what's going on worldwide. Like we just mentioned, the recovery of low-cost sea capacity is much higher than traditional. The number of operators is much greater. And with the global economic challenges today and roaring inflation, it's more important than ever to deliver really, really good choices to consumers. So with the pricing aspect and the ancillaries and the bundled offerings that the airlines want to distribute more, trying to do that through our platform is what's making the difference, and delivering that to the community so they can book more travel and see more. That seems to be working quite well.
Okay. Expanding on that, Atlas, you have a travel philosophy at Atlas. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, we believe that travel is like a right for people, and our founder and all of us in Atlas really strongly believe that it really helps people grow. It broadens horizons and indeed your mindset as you travel and experience new things, and you realize we're all the same at the end of the day. So we want to enable as much travel for as many people as possible globally. That's our purpose and our belief in the good it brings. And so that's why we're building out the program as we are.
So, in closing, we are at WiT Singapore 2022. The theme for this year is Hello New World. What does New World mean to you?
Yeah. Well, looking ahead, I think frictionless booking for travelers and B2B partners of growing low-cost carrier content globally. So often people, let's say in LATAM, may never have heard of low-cost carriers in Asia, but delivering that content to them in a very seamless way, customized for their exact requirements. Say a family of 5 may have 3 or 4 different types of bundle they'd like to buy,
Yeah.
but delivering that seamlessly, fast, efficiently, at very low cost to our B2B partners is what we want to try and do to enable more people to travel globally. And we certainly think we're on the cusp of that at the moment.
Brian, thank you so much for your time.
Very welcome. Thank you very much. Great to be here. Cheers. Thank you.